I predicted same as you. Great minds think alike. Do they? Do they really? Collingwood by 26. I'm in a good mood. I am in a good mood. Geelong by 58, okay. Saints by 12, okay. Gold Coast missed out the Lions game, mate. How'd you miss out the Lions game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you didn't predict the same as me. If you predicted the same as me, you would have predicted the Lions game. You didn't do that. That's ridiculous. That Ethan's on the list for lying. Can't be lying on these YouTube comments. That's ridiculous. Missing out, that's the third time. Because he missed out a tip. And on top of that, he said he predicted the same as me. He didn't, clearly, because he didn't predict Brisbane. I predicted Brisbane, he didn't. So it's not the same. It's not the same. I can confirm this through my reliable sources. Gold Coast by 46. We'll take those. Pals by 18 upsets. We would like this because Hawthorn stay in the finals. I think you jinxed it, mate. I think you jinxed it. Because I'm pissed off at Port Adelaide, even though I'm in a good mood, you're on the list for the fourth time. Giants by 104. We'll take it. Bulldogs by 36. Adelaide by 138. Nobody wins by that margin. Well, not anymore anyway. Maybe in the past, but nobody wins by 138. When was the last time that happened? Was that Geelong-Melbourne game? Was it that one? Was it the last time that happened? I don't think that was even that margin. I don't even know. There was another one between Geelong and North, I believe. There's a couple Geelong ones. But those are years ago. Those are like, what, 15, 20 years? I can't remember how many years ago they were now. But yeah, no one wins by that margin anymore. We're in 2025, mate. Get with the times. Ridiculous. Even against the dreadful West Coast, nobody wins by that margin, but he got the tip right. Just not the ludicrous scoreline. I guarantee myself, April 2026, that for tipping I'll only create one account. When he currently has 3 accounts. So we'll find out if that's true next season. Oh, YouTube's done the copying thing, which just copies the same comment twice. Very weird. Hawthorn 12 points. Well, I picked at Hawthorn, and he got it right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Geelong by 40. Very close. Richmond by 6. Well, it's wrong, but it almost paid off. He tipped Sydney. So he tipped Hawthorn and Sydney this round. That's quite impressive. He's cooking here. Gold Coast. He tipped Gold Coast. Port Adelaide by 37. 37! I may be in a good mood, but that's a little too much. What do you mean 37? Carlo's on the list. GWS 50, very close. Western Bulldogs 10, very close. He's got a few like within a goal with the margin. Adelaide by 26, close enough. Close enough. He actually did okay there. Round 22 AFL tips. Hawthorn vs Collingwood. Thursday night blockbuster. There are some severe finals ramifications from this game. Collingwood lost 3 of the last 4 games. He didn't write games, but I just added to it. Ad libs, you know. And if they lose a top 2 place... Sorry, I've read it in a complete wrong context. Sorry. Let me get my head in the game. Right, my head is in the game. Collingwood have lost 3 of the last 4, and if they lose, a top 2 place might be gone, since they have Adelaide away. Hawthorn still need to win at least 2 more games for the rest of the season to stay in the 8. I think it's a toss-up. Collingwood destroyed Hawthorn and by 8 goals in the year, though. However, I think Hawthorn could rise to the occasion and just get over the line. Hawks by 6. Good tip. Obviously, the margin's a bit off, but maybe you missed a 4 at the end. Maybe I think that explains it. Yeah, you definitely meant 64. Yeah, well, that's what we'll take. Geelong versus Essendon. First of all, why is this a primetime game? Essendon haven't won a single game in 36 days, and they are up against the Cats at GMHBA. Essendon haven't won this ground since 1990, and I'm very sure those other 34 Essendon teams were a lot better than this one, or at least most of them. This could quite literally be the biggest margin of the entire season. Well, it wasn't, but understandable notion. The biggest was Geelong against North Melbourne. Okay, so I was thinking that game. North Melbourne, they played against, they had a huge margin, which I think was bigger than the Melbourne game they had so far. This could reach West Coast City in 2023 levels. Expecting Jezza to kick at least 8 against Essendon's terrible defence to get close to 100 goals, along with 115. He should have been closer, to be fair. Like, he missed quite a few shots. He had like 6 set shots and a quarter, I think, in the fourth quarter or something. He missed like 4 of them. But it was cool to see Cardman get on TV, though. That was awesome. But Jumbo 115, a little bit much. Just a little bit much. Richmond versus St Kilda. St Kilda on a bit of a winning run with wins over Melbourne and North. They are playing Richmond, so surely they shouldn't lose, right? Saints by 32. Well, they won, but it wasn't quite as comfortable as 32. They only just won by under a goal. Brisbane versus Sydney, the grand final rematch, but a very one-sided game. Sydney's season is over, so they are just playing for pride. Brisbane have Freo next, then the Hawks, so they need to win this to stay in hunt for top 2. Might not be an easy win, but they should get the 4 points. Lions by 25. See, I'm letting you off because I'm in a good mood, and also that was a pretty big upset for that result to happen. Carlton versus Gold Coast. There is some intrigue of an upset for Carlton. Maybe a little bit, but it's hard to see that against Gold Coast. We're on a roll and still have a game in hand to play. And the game in hand is Essendon. I can't believe it. Gold Coast lost to Richmond at Marvel, so anything is possible. However, Gold Coast can't be losing this. Suns by 18. Only 1 point off. Not too bad at all. Not too shabby. Port Elliot versus Fremantle. This game is harder to tip than initially thought, though it's clear that Freo are the more fancy outfit. Set at Elliot Oval, a place where Freo have never won at. Port could win for one last chance for Ken. Port by 2. They've really never won there. They've never won it. Well, there's a first time for everything. They only just won by 6. You tipped Port, but because you tipped a close game, I'm letting you off. So far, everyone who's tipped Port Adelaide I put on the list, I think. But you have been let off. I hope you don't forget this. GWS versus North Melbourne. So, GWS by 83. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Not the right margin, but it's fine. They won comfortably is the point. Melbourne versus Western Bulldogs. Also, did AFL ever change this background? This picture's been here for years now, I believe. it's always the same background every single time. Anyway, that's a completely different issue. Though the Dogs have an impressive 10-0 record against the bottom 9, this game might be closer than you think. Yeah, it was much closer than we thought. Melbourne play well against the Dogs, and this is at the MCG. Goodwin getting sacked might have an effect, as when coaches leave the team. When coaches leave, the team can play better, maybe win. It's tempting, but I have to back in the Dogs. Dogs by 28. After you said closer than you think, I feel like I was expecting a closer margin than 28. Like that's almost 5 goals. Maybe a bit excessive considering the description. West Coast versus Adelaide. Adelaide by 102. Yeah, not sure about that one, Chief. But at least you tipped Adelaide. So, yeah, a few wrong. But at the end of the day, you're not on the list.
You just made the list. You just made the list. You just made the list! You just made the list! You just made the list!